This episode is brought to you by Peacock. The new Peacock original documentary, Matthew Perry, A Hollywood Tragedy, dives deep into the beloved actor's rise to fame and his tragic death. 5 people, including Perry's personal assistant, 2 medical doctors, and an alleged Hollywood drug dealer known as the Ketamine Queen, were charged with conspiracy to illegally provide Perry with the ketamine. Explore the details of the case in this heartbreaking special, streaming now only on Peacock.
Sometimes life can feel pretty disorienting, as if we find ourselves turned around in the woods. But never fear, because we are never truly lost. And with the help of the wilderness, along with footsteps from the past and the present, we will unlock the tools that will help us to rewrite our journey here on the Project Mindfully Outdoors podcast. Hey, everybody. Welcome in to today's edition of Project Mindfully Outdoors, the podcast. As always, I'm your guide, Mike Martin, and I'm really stoked to share some thoughts with you today about a subject that is so important, but yet so easily lost touch with. And that's the idea of holding on to a strong sense of self. So let's go ahead and dive right in. You know, the very first thing that I want to emphasize, that building a strong sense of self is a journey. It's not a destination. You know, it's just like when we get together and we head out on the trails through the forest. There's going to be twists. There's going to be turns. Sometimes you might even find yourself taking the wrong path. You know, trust me, I've done it many times myself, whether it's in the woods or in life. And the key aspect that I've taken away when I look back and reflect on all of my footsteps is patience. You have to understand yourself, and you have to realize that every footstep is just a part of the living experience. It's another word on the page of that book of your story, of your journey that you're writing. So really, the question becomes, how do we start this journey? You know, I like to think back to one of the catchphrases that I utilize a lot of the time. One small step. That's what every journey begins with. So if you're feeling overwhelmed about the idea of trying to rediscover who you are, just understand it takes one small step to get going. And then you start looking at everything around you. And that's what I want to dive deeper into and break down. Because one of the very first things that it takes along this journey, and you're going to do this over and over again, is engage in self-reflection. Take some time to really get to know yourself by reflecting. Grab your favorite beverage, head outside if you can. Pick up a journal. Whatever your passions are, whatever brings you joy, that's what you use in order to achieve meaningful self-reflection. Sometimes it's as easy as just writing it down. Other times it feels good to just kind of talk to yourself out loud, just to hear your voice and understand where you're trying to go, what colors you have on the palette. You might be surprised by what pops into your head. And hey, if you really don't know where to start, how about asking yourself this simple question? What makes you feel alive right here and right now in this moment? You know those moments when you feel like you're totally in the zone. Take note of what they are. Take note of what stimulates that drive and brings you into the moment. Embrace who you are, my friend. You have to embrace the unique aspects of yourself because that's what makes you you. You know, every single one of us is a beautiful mix of experiences, quirks, talents, and the list goes on and on. It's what makes us uniquely us. And instead of comparing yourself to others, throw that mindset into the river and change it. Change those words with one simple word. Celebrate. Because you got to celebrate what makes you you. Maybe you've got some kind of crazy laugh, or you've got this obsession with collecting something really cool. It doesn't matter what it is. It's you. So own it. Who cares what anybody thinks? It's a badge, my friend. Wear it proudly. And then you got to consider this. You got to fill the space around you. That circle that we talk so often about. You got to be aware and keep a flow of positivity within it. Because when you do this, you're energizing yourself. You're helping yourself stay on track. And you're even giving yourself the confidence that if you fall off the trail, you can blaze your way back. Positivity is something that is infectious. When you surround yourself with people that are positive and uplifting, it takes hold within your heart. And that's one of the most important things that you can really spend time looking at, is who you're surrounding yourself with, who you're letting inside of your circle, and how those relationships help you find clarity. And number 4, and this is a subject that I talk about in the new book, The Groundhog, or The Wisdom of the Groundhog, is setting boundaries. It's okay. And it might be the hardest step of all, but it's really essential to set boundaries. Ensure that your time and your energy aren't taken for granted by others. Learning to say a 2-letter word that is so powerful and so important, no, because it's a game changer. It's not about being selfish. It's about self-care. And as we wrap up today's conversation here on the podcast, I want to encourage you to take these points, these practices, and look at how they can help you build or rebuild that strong sense of self-worth. And I want to encourage you to get out there and explore and allow yourself to grow, because it's a lifelong pursuit. There's no need to rush, my friend. Embrace the journey. Swing over to projectmindfullyoutdoors.co. Sign up for a meditation call, and we can explore this subject and so much more together. And until Monday, my friend, get out there in the wilderness, because that's where the stillness and the adventure lie. See ya.